It seems that Trump is digging himself into a hole that he won't be able to get out of. As every day that's passing by, he's appearing more and more guilty. Right now, the media is reporting that Donald Trump sent a letter to Jeffrey Epstein for his birthday that, if true, would establish Trump's relationship with Epstein and prove that there might have been some secrets between the two. While most of the media is reporting this, Trump is firmly denying it. But like everything else that's been going on recently with the Epstein cover-up, the world is finally starting to see who Trump really is. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we're once again talking about Donald Trump. Let's get right into it. If you've seen any of my past videos on this situation, then you would know that Trump has been fighting against releasing the Epstein files, doing everything in his power to make sure those Epstein files aren't released. According to Trump, if you're interested in the Epstein files, you're a bad person and you're boring or you're fake news.
But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going.
This all comes after Trump promised to release all these Epstein files and basically campaigned with this idea that he was going to out all of those who were Jeffrey Epstein's accomplices. On top of this, many of you guys should remember that Trump actually gave MAGA influencers binders claiming that those were the Epstein files and that they were planning on releasing it. Pam Bondi also claimed that she was going to release it, and Kash Patel. They all promised to release these Epstein files, but the moment that it came down to doing it, they all started singing a different tune. Now, after all the remarks that Trump's been saying about these Epstein files, he's found himself in hot water once again, as this time, the Wall Street Journal published an article claiming that Donald Trump was one of the elite men who sent Epstein a birthday letter that seems to further confirm their close relationship. Remember, I have said this multiple times and I've showed this before on the channel. Epstein himself admitted that him and Trump were very close friends. He claimed that him and Trump were best friends for years actually. But according to Trump, he stopped being friends with Epstein because of his allegations and what he had committed. But is that true? Is that really what happened? Or is Trump just trying to spin it to clean up his name? Now, this letter that the Wall Street Journal claims Trump wrote to Epstein was supposed to be a picture of a nude woman drawn by Trump with Trump's signature playing as the woman's pubic hair. The letter contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appeared to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breast, and Trump's signature is squiggled below her waist, mimicking her pubic hair. In the letter, Trump said, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." I wonder what was the secret that he was referring to. Outside the outline was also this text. Voiceover, there must be more to life than having everything. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Trump, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Now, the Wall Street Journal claims that they don't have this letter, but that this is confirmed to have been from Trump to Epstein as a birthday gift. And many other high-profile people also sent Jeffrey a letter that day as well. This letter was allegedly collected by Maxwell, who had a whole assortment of different letters that were sent to Epstein, with this being one of them. Now, since this information was released, Trump instantly responded in the most Trump way possible. He said that he doesn't draw pictures. He's never wrote in a picture is what he said specifically. He's never wrote in a picture before, and that he doesn't do that and he doesn't speak like that this is all fake news, and that he's planning on suing the Wall Street Journal. This is a typical Trump response, is what he responds to everything, and unfortunately, I don't see how the American people don't see through this gaslighting. Every single thing that Trump is implemented in, he just says the most dumbest things in response, and people just honestly believe him. He has never written a picture before, or he's never drawn a picture before is what he's stating. But if you look into Trump, you easily see that he has done several drawings throughout his lifetime. Many doodles, just like the one that was seen on this letter that was sent to Epstein. So that point right there just proves him to be further of a liar. He's clearly lying because all the press pressure is on him. And like I've said in my last video, if you didn't see my last video about the Epstein survivor, you gotta go check that out because the Epstein survivor spoke about all of this as well. I believe one of the main reasons Trump was put into power was to cover this up as well. Those who really run this country knew that Trump was perfect for this job because no other president has this much manipulation over the people. MAGA isn't just this support team for Trump. MAGA is Trump's cult, and Trump sadly has them all brainwashed. Whatever Trump says, they believe. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it sounds. Like right here, this is a clear example of a ridiculous response. You know, no one is saying that Trump actually wrote the letter, except for the Wall Street Journal and a few others. But me, myself, I believe that the letter is real. That's just my opinion. I have no fact to prove it, but I do believe that this letter is 100% real because it simply seems like something that Trump would say. Also, Trump said that he doesn't say the word enigma, but there's speeches of him saying the word enigma, clearly indicating that he does use this word in his vocabulary.
Carson's an enigma to me.
I didn't say it.
Carson's an enigma.
And also, his reaction to all of this, to me, is more telling than the letter itself. The fact that he's threatening to sue, the fact that he's even responding. Do you know how many allegations are made about Trump every single day that he doesn't respond to? Because some of them are fake. But he knows that this one right here is definitely most likely real. And he's also dealing with all the attention and all the negative press of him trying to cover up the Epstein files. And I want you guys to think about this. We know Trump and Epstein had a relationship. We know that they were friends. A lot of people want to deny this. A lot of people want to say that, you know, Trump and Epstein were friends before Trump realized that Epstein was a PDF file. If this letter is real, they're referring to some sort of secret. What other secret do we know Epstein for? Epstein's entire secret was that he was trafficking young girls to the biggest elite, blackmailing them with this, and building his massive empire using this criminal organization. Nobody till this day knows how Epstein became one of the richest men in the world. Nobody knows how he had all those billions of dollars. It all goes back to this operation. This is what he was known for. In the world of the elite, he was the man that got you the little girls and got you the place to do your rituals and all things like that. Realistically, I am 100% positive that Donald Trump is an occultist. A full-on occultist. Not only did I show a few videos back how Marina Abramovich called Trump the dark magician of the highest degree and claimed that he was the one that was going to usher in the New World Order.
Trump is the best thing happened ever to us, that he is the magician of the highest order, that he is there in his irrational mind to create confusion in order that the human being can find new order. And you know, it's not so stupid thinking about this in that way. It's completely turning things upside down.
But also, all the research I have done into Trump has proved and suggested that he's deep into the occult. And not only is he deep into the occult, but he was born into a Knight Templar's bloodline. You know, there's a YouTuber on this platform named Robert Seffer. He's an anthropologist, and he makes videos that dive deep into history and uncovering the true history, and also diving into history coinciding with the occult. How the occult has played a large role in the development of our world. Specifically, he made a video about Trump's bloodline, and in that video, he produced overwhelming evidence that would suggest that Trump comes from the Knight Templar's bloodline and that he is a full-on occultist. In the video, Robert Seffer talks about Trump's bloodline and how it traces all the way back to the Knights Templar. He talks about his use of ritual magic, with his Trump towers being created using occult metrics. Robert Seffer basically confirms that Trump is an occultist. And like I said, I've seen my evidence to believe this as well. Let's take a look at this clip from this video.
Johann Trump, born in Bobenheim in 1789, moved to the nearby village of Karlstadt, where his grandson, Frederick Trump, the grandfather of Donald Trump, was born in 1869. This German heritage was long concealed by Donald Trump's father, Fred Trump, after World War II, and until the 1980s, he told people he was of Swedish ancestry. Donald Trump repeated this version in The Art of the Deal, published in 1987, but later said he was proud of his German heritage.
You know, I'm proud to have that German blood. There's no question about it. Great stuff.
Of course, Sweden was founded by the same group of people that we call Swabians, and very few people understand what that means. That said, one needs only look at the occult, meaning hidden, symbology of the Trump Tower to gain a deeper insight into his true ancestry. Completed in 1983, it has an official height of 664 feet, but if you count its spire, however, it raises its height to 666 feet. While 666 is called the number of the beast in most manuscripts of Revelation, A fragment of the earliest papyrus gives a number of 616 as the original number of the beast. In a Kabbalistic context, 666 is a positive holy number associated with light, or the sun, and the heart chakra. 666 is also the number of the goddess, such as Ishtar, Isis, Aphrodite, and is sacred in Egyptian mythology. It's related to sex, fertility, and motherhood. That said, Trump Tower also features an inverted triangle made up of trees or bushes. An upside-down triangle is also a symbol of the goddess. In alchemy, it means water, or the divine feminine energy. And if you look closely, you'll see that the trees are arranged in 3 rows of 6, making up the 3 sides of the triangle. I'd like to also point out that the tree itself is a sacred sex symbol, from the tree in the Garden of Eden to the fig or Bodhi tree associated with Buddha and enlightenment, which is really a reference to Tantra. Above this inverted triangle of trees, we see 7 pillars rising. If you count the points at the top of the building, you'll notice there's 7, which in Tantra are the number of chakras in the human body. In astrotheology, there are 7 gods, meaning the 5 visible planets with the naked eye, plus the sun and the moon. In Islam, or Sufi cosmology, there are 7 heavens and hells. And of course, in the biblical context, it's the 7 days of creation. In a more esoteric perspective, 7 has to do with sacred geometry. As Pythagoras tells us, the number 7 is, quote, the essence or first principle of things. The famous G in the square and compass symbol is publicly regarded as standing for God or the generative principle, but in esoteric context, it stands for the 7th letter of the alphabet, which alludes to the ancient esoteric tantric practices we discussed earlier in regards to Samson and Delilah, where semen retention coupled with arousal and internal alchemy results in what is regarded as a Kundalini awakening or heightened pineal awareness. That said, here's the same concept reiterated by ex-Freemason Bill Schnoebelen.
And here's the great mystery of Masonry, the great mystery of all these ancient mystery religions. And I'm going to try and be as delicate as I can about this, folks, but it's kind of gross. This is what these people worship. Believe it or not, the mystery that none of these people could solve, that none of these people, these ancient sages could understand, is the fact that the male organ, when it brings forth seed, it dies and can't be resurrected for a while, whereas the female organ is immortal or eternal. That is what this whole thing is about. This whole thing is a giant solar phallic cult.
That said, Donald Trump is of Rh negative blood type. A self-proclaimed Christian, he's also an initiate that, like the Freemasons and Rosicrucians, subscribe to a lineage based on the heritage of the Knights Templar, who claim descent from High Temple priests of Jerusalem, whose ancestors fled into Europe after the destruction of the temple, and introduced Kabbalah into European secret societies, which for a time was regarded as alchemy. This ancient Aryan bloodline goes back to the Magi of Mesopotamia and priests of ancient Egypt, who according to German textbooks up until 1945 were regarded as the true origins of the Nordic people during the Holocene, as indicated by the yellow circles on this map, who eventually migrated north into Europe and Scandinavia. This should also help to explain why Trump uses the lion symbol, as I've already explained about his ancestry, Germanic bloodline, and occult significance he incorporates into his architecture, as well as his personal allegiance to an ancient Kabbalistic network that is misunderstood by many and completely unknown to most.
It goes back to Babylon in the 6th century BC, the development of a tradition that merged the worship of underworld gods with the Babylon history of magic and astrology. And so this is basically what came to be, in the Jewish tradition, came to be known as Kabbalah. Basically, it's a hierarchy of Judaism. And so it's, the early practitioners would present themselves to the world as merely being an interpretation of Judaism, as a way of disguising their apostasy from Judaism. And what it's based on is the idea that Solomon had learned magic somehow from, basically some kind of discarded entities, demonic entities of some sort, and that he used that power to build. First of all, that he had a sigil, or the Star of David, or the Star of Solomon, was a 6-pointed star, which he used as a seal on a ring, apparently, to control these demons. And then he used his control over these demons to build the temple of Solomon. So there is a legitimate Orthodox tradition in Judaism that looks forward to the rebuilding of the temple as part of fulfillment of Bible prophecy with the return of the Messiah. And there's a parallel satanic tradition, occult Kabbalistic tradition, that also aspires to rebuilding of the third temple, but their Messiah is the Antichrist.
As you can see, he pretty much presents more than enough evidence that would suggest Trump is truly an occultist. And like I said, I know he's an occultist. In my opinion, everything I've seen, everything he's doing, I don't think they would have allowed him to become the president of the United States if he wasn't deeply into the occult, if he wasn't a Freemason. Like I've said before, all presidents of the United States are Freemasons. There's presidents that are open Masons, but then the rest, they don't reveal that they're Masons, because if the country realizes that all presidents are not only Freemasons, but related to the royal family, then it raises suspicion and people finally realize they're not truly voting for anything. These two candidates that they put for you to vote are a part of the same bloodline, are a part of the same family, are a part of the same system that they are using to manipulate and control. The president is just the face. He is just a person put in place to give you the feeling that you have control of picking who's our leader. When in reality, those who are really running this country, you can't vote for them, you're never gonna see them, and they're never gonna give up that power. It's also interesting to see Elon Musk continuing to attack Trump, which I'm not buying it at all. Because we saw at the beginning of the year how Trump and Elon were best friends and were inseparable. But now Elon is one of the main people coming at Trump and saying that Trump was a part of the Epstein files. Now, who knows? They could have had some falling out, but realistically, I believe Trump and Elon are both working towards establishing the New World Order. In my opinion, I believe that they're working together. Now, even right now, when everything is shifting on Trump, they knew this was going to happen. There's no way that they didn't know this was going to happen. And that's why I believe Trump is the person they're using to do this. Because Trump has so many people brainwashed that no matter what, Trump could be seen caught doing the crime. And his MAGA supporters are just going to act like he didn't do it and gaslight it as well, because that's the manipulation Trump has over them. So I believe they put Trump in this position because they knew this was going to happen. And in order for them to establish their New World Order, the world has to blindly oblige whatever the government says. The government has to be able to fully control the people, which we're very close to. Most people are doing whatever Trump tells them to do. So that's why Trump is the man that they're using to cover the Epstein files up. Because they know that Trump can't get everybody to let it go, but they know that he could definitely get his fan base to do whatever he says. And I've already seen a lot of people making excuses for Trump. Now, for those that are wondering why I keep covering Trump so much, it's because I'm honestly offended by this and I'm let down by it. I never thought Trump was going to release the list. I'm more let down by the audience, by the fans of Trump, by MAGA supporters that aren't willing to see the truth. I knew Trump was never going to release the Epstein files because I'm not dumb. I know him and Epstein were running around together. I know they did dirt together, and Trump isn't the only one. It's all of the elites, several of the elite who did God knows what with Epstein. Those are the people that were never going to let the list out. But I told myself, be patient, because the moment that it comes time for them to have to release that list and Trump doesn't do it, his audience will finally wake up. His MAGA supporters will finally see it. And that's the opposite of what happened. Instead of them saying, oh, this guy did us dirty, this guy's not as honest as we thought, they just kept defending him no matter what he says and no matter what he does. And it's like the most disturbing thing I've ever witnessed. I've never seen a president have this many people manipulated. Maybe Barack Obama, because he was another president that a lot of the population completely hypnotized. But Trump, I think Trump takes that to a whole new level. Trump has these people ready to crash out and ready to lose it all just to defend his stupidity and lies. No matter what Trump says, you cannot convince me that me wanting to know who were the accomplices on the Epstein Island and doing things with Epstein makes me a bad person. How am I a bad person for wanting to know who are these criminals and these disgusting monsters so that we can hold them accountable, keep the people safe, and make sure that they're not running our country? Do you want PDF files running your country? Do you want sick monster PDF files running your country? It's already bad enough that there are cultists who are doing all sorts of demonic rituals, but add the fact that they're running around on islands abusing girls. That's not someone I want running this country. And realistically, like I said, none of these people are truly running this country. But if that's the person we're going to pretend is running our country, I'm not comfortable allowing a PDF file to run our country. And I'm not saying Trump is a PDF file because I have no proof that Trump did anything with anybody there. But I see overwhelming evidence that would suggest Trump and Epstein had a relationship where Trump could have possibly participated in the activities that Epstein was known for. If you know Trump's personality, the things that he's said in the past, the things that he's done, you would know that it's not out of the ordinary for Trump to be hanging out with Epstein and doing the things that Epstein did. Realistically, people, we are in some very crucial times. Things are getting darker and darker. I recently gave you guys a Patreon video where I explained everything that's going on now, the Iran situation, the Epstein cover-up, Trump, and how it all connects to the New World Order. If you're one of my Patreon members, make sure you go check that out. If you're not a member, you should join, watch that video. It's only $3 and you get access to that video and 50 other videos. In that video, I explain it perfectly. I tell you exactly what's gonna happen. I can't say it here on YouTube to protect the channel, but this is all happening for a reason. Right now, we're at the cusp of massive change. Everything, all the foundation of this change is already set up. It's all there. They just now have to pull back the curtain, and we have to accept what they're gonna present to us, which is what's happening now. If we let this Epstein thing go, I promise you, I guarantee you, things are gonna get much worse. We're going to see their plans unfold so quickly because that is the last step. They need us to comply and to surrender even our intelligence and act dumb enough to believe that this whole Epstein situation isn't a cover-up, but there's nothing there. Think about it. Trump has called the Epstein files dumb, boring, anyone that wants to know about them evil. He said that the Democrats made the list, but if you think about it, why would the Democrats make the list and then put Democrat people on there? If they made the list, why didn't they just release it before the presidential run? Because the situation is that the Republicans and the Democrats are one of the same. They're best friends, they're pals. In front of us, it's like WWE. They're beating the crap out of each other. They're doing all these body slams and acting like they hate each other and screaming in each other's face. And then after the cameras are off, they're all hanging out, doing rituals and going to parties together. That's the truth about this country. It's a show. And unfortunately, most people buy into the show. But in my opinion, I believe that if this letter's true, it just further proves that Trump and Epstein had a relationship, had a friendship, and not only that, they have a secret between the two that they don't want the world to know about. You tell me what you think that secret is. And I'm sorry guys, if you guys are tired of hearing me talk about Trump, I'm not tired. I'm not letting this one go. I am going to keep covering this until we get a solution. And if you want to help me, spread the truth with me. Share these videos. Tell people about this information. We have to stand up. We have to rise. We have to fight for change. And we will not be silenced. And on top of that, we're not taking any nonsense as a response. We won't give up until we get the full Epstein files. If that means our government crumbles, well, guess what? I'm here to watch it crumble. We shouldn't allow the leaders that we apparently supposedly appoint to act like we're children and we don't deserve the truth and we can't have these conversations. I'm not going for that. We deserve the truth. We deserve to know who are Epstein's accomplices, what they did, how many people they harmed, and we are not going to give up until we get our answers. And I'm hoping that you're all backing me up with this too. Remember, help me spread this information, share the video, like, subscribe, comment, because the algorithm doesn't want to put this information out there. But with you guys, we can change that. We can make sure that this information is spread, and we can make sure that more people know this. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.